Hello. I honestly didn't think I was going to be doing another one of these. Um, but then I was sitting there and I was looking at my DVDs and stuff, and I just thought, you know what? No, I've got to say something about it. And this is the third installment of UglyAnime. Yay! I haven't done one of these for what, a year? So if you like these, don't expect them very often unless I get like massive positive reaction stuff, which isn't going to happen. But who cares? Today we're going to talk about something quite controversial. Zeta Gundam. Now, you might be able to tell, I like Gundams. I like giant robots. I like transforming giant robots. I like robots. I hate Zeta Gundam. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. It is possibly second only to what? Seed? You know, I hate this. I hate it. I really do. It's awful. Um, and I shall explain to you why. Because, I don't want you to just. I don't know. Well, that's not very good, is it? There you go. See, the original Gundam is incredibly dated. I know they've been redoing it. Is it the Origin or whatever it is? I can't remember. They've been redoing it, and that's fine, because it kind of needed it. But the original was campy as anything. It was kind of cool, and they quite happily killed everyone in sight. They really did. Why do you think he's called Kill 'Em All Tomino? The guy who created Gundam. He's quite happy to murder people. In the series, I'm not saying he's actually a serial killer. That's completely unfounded. I don't actually know that for sure. Suspected that. Joke. But no, he's But at the end of the Gundam series, the original Gundam series, it then goes straight into Zeta. Like canonically. I'm not sure if there's anything squeezed in between. I know there's like a Stardust Memory and 8th MS Team are in there somewhere. Possibly the War in the Pocket. I'm looking at my collection over this side, bear with me. But I think main series canonically it goes straight into Zeta. And just they got the main character who ends up stealing a suit, joins some resistance, something like that. The AUG. I'm not 100% certain which way they're supposed to be. Are they now the Xeon, or because the Earth Federation's apparently become what's the word? Corrupt, and they've started making like Zaku machines for some reason. Then you get the AUG, who are the anti-Earth unified government or something. And then they've got Nemos, which are effectively the GMs, which means they're the good guys. I don't. It doesn't. I'm not. I don't really care enough to research it. I'll be honest with you. I'm sure I did at one point, but I've managed to block all that information out because I don't like Zeta. But he steals out, he goes, joins them, blah, 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 has a big fight, and there's something, and it's just like, who cares? Because when you boil it down, the main character is called Camille Bidan. And 90% of the series, like pretty much everything that happens, is based off the fact he has a girl's name. At which point, lots of people are going to be putting in the comments, if they actually watch this, Camille's not a girl's name, it's a man's name, and I'm a man. Crybaby. And that's what that's what the whole series is based off. It's literally all based off that. At the very beginning of the series, he gets into a fight with some soldiers from the Titans, which are the Earth Federation's like soldier, like the mobile suit pilots or something. I'm not 100% sure, but he gets into a fight with them because he's got a girl's name. Then, because he's seen one of the soldiers who beat him up with the Mach 2 Gundam, which is awful, by the way, he steals it because he made fun of him, beat him up because he had a girl's name. And then, again, out of spite, because he's got a girl's name, he joins the AUG. And it all goes from there. Which, spoilers, because this is a very old series, and you should have seen it by now. But things like people die, and things like this, people are specifically targeted and die because he's joined the AUG. and he's only joined the AU because he's got a girl's name. It just feels really, really stupid that the entire thing is based off the premise that he's got a girl's name. If they just called him Dave, there wouldn't have been a series. Just think about it. Anyone who's seen the series, granted, you're probably just not listening to me because you hold it in such high regard and it's beloved to you. Ugh. But, you know, if he was just called Dave or Keith or Steve or anything similar, there wouldn't be a series. Now, apart from that, I mean, even in terrible series like Victory's not a great series. G Savior the film is awful, but I own it. I'm looking at all these series I've got, like Seed. I hate Seed, but at least I like some of the supporting characters. Some of the supporting characters and some of the things, they're really cool. So I can watch it. I don't like. Oh, don't get me started on Kira, but I don't like it, but I can watch it because of these supporting characters. There's no good supporting characters in Zeta. Again, the Zeta fanboys are going to rip me limb from limb for this, but I don't remember any characters in it that are any good. I mean, there's Char, who's just Char, but he's wearing sunglasses, and he's what was his name in this? Quattro Vagina. Who cares? There's the bad guy, Paptimus Scirocco, which is a terrible car, if I remember rightly. I don't understand why he's even there. I'll be honest with you. I don't get his motivation. He's just some snobby guy with advanced mobile suits who goes, "Oh, I'm just going to take over." I don't care. Just none of it's good. And then, the women in this series. Oh my word. At least this has gotten to the point where women can be pilots and stuff. And all right, fair enough. Progressiveness, fantastic. That's good. But even though they're piloting machines, their whole purpose in this series is to be a love interest for someone else. You've got Fa, who is Camille's. You've got... Is it Emma, Sarah, and... Who's the one with the Bollinoaks shaman, or was that Sarah? And no, that was Sarah. And Rekoa. You've got Fa, who's for Camille. You've got Emma, who's for the guy who's the captain of the Radish. You've got Rekoa and Sarah, who are both after Paptimus. And then you've got Haman, who turns up later, who just wants Char. It's not like they can be an independent character on their own. They've got to have this like obsession or sort of like be in love with one or the other. Come on, women, you're better than this. And I know this is an older series, and that's why it's not necessarily that progressive. But then again, you get the Zeta itself, because you've got the Mach 2, which eventually is outdated because the Mach 2 itself was effectively just a GM2 with better armour, a V-fin, and maybe slightly tuned up engines. It was basically a publicity stunt from what I remember from... I read it somewhere a while ago because who cares about the Mach 2? But it wasn't actually that much better than the standard machines. It was just a publicity stunt. It's like, hey, look, we've got a second version Gundam. Woo! Yeah. And then they made, at least 2 of them? But it wasn't very good. And then he got the Zeta, which was a transforming suit, which I should love. But I don't. I don't like the design of it. I don't like the look of it. It just... And I hate to be that guy. I do. I don't want to, But it's a very feminine design. Like tiny little shoulders, big legs. Yeah, generally speaking, the sort of quintessential woman design is like bigger thighs, but this hasn't. It's got the big calves. But it still seems a very feminine design. Like the very narrow face and stuff. I'm not sexist at all. I'd like to think everyone knows that. I've done my International Fembot last year. Was it last year? Wow, I need to track down some more fembots and do another one of them. Oh well. But it's just not good. I just don't like it. It's just a weird... I really don't like the design of it. I mean, even the laser shooting noise in Zeta just feels really sort of... I don't like it. I really don't. I'm sorry. I know I'm harping onto it, but I really don't like that series. and it's just everything about it's just lame. And I've watched that series and I was like, oh, that's terrible. Which is why I was glad when this came along. Double Zeta. I'm not going to go into huge detail in case I want to do a review of this at some point. But Double Zeta basically came along and fixed everything I hated about Zeta. And I'm like, that's how it should have ended. And I know this is camp as anything. It's very much, in many aspects, it's very much like a villain of the week kind of thing. But at least it's not lame. And the characters have got distinct motivation for what they're doing, and you like the characters, and Zeta is better. He even starts Double Zeta's better. He even starts off with the Zeta Gundam, and just because of the way he's using it and stuff, I don't hate it as much in this series. I really, again, it's because I like the characters. There's nothing that I like. I wouldn't say it's my most hated series. I mean, there's quite a bit of competition, to be honest with you. I own Turn A, which is very hard to watch. It's not bad. It's just so hard to watch. But I really don't like Zeta. It's just not a good thing. And I'm looking around, and I don't think I've got any suits from the Zeta series. I was going to have one in the background, but I don't. So subconsciously, I even hate the suit designs. Yeah, I really don't think I do. Oh, well, again, I wasn't expecting to ever do one of these again, so I'll upload this and hope I don't get too much backlash. Again, this is only my opinion. And, maybe people can tell me something, but if you can't admit that pretty much everything spirals from him throwing a strap just because he's got a girl's name, come on, guys, please, just think it through. Don't take it as like I'm knocking your religion or something. I'm not trying to do that, but you've got to admit that technically, if he had a guy's name, none of it would have happened. Or at least very little would have happened. At least he wouldn't have been involved. Maybe the series could have been about Quattro. That might have been alright. That might have been watchable. So, anyway. I should be ugly, I should be wretched, but not as bad as that. And I shall see all you in the next one. Bye bye!